Okay, also, he was paralyzed in a football accident, but he has now fully recovered. One college student and his friends are biking all the way across the country to raise money for others who have suffered spinal injuries. Amazing story. They're going to be in studio to talk about their journey. You ready to dish?
Let's dish. And again, today it is a sad story.
So
Although,
sad.
you know, he lived such a great life.
Yeah.
You have to say at 86 to look back and say,
It's
I
always
did it.
sad, but yeah, to look back and celebrate. What a magnificent life of Ed McMahon.
We're talking about Ed, of course. Ed passed away just after midnight. He had been battling bone cancer, and he was also being treated for pneumonia. The TV legend was often called the #1 second banana, and of course, the best-known sidekick of all time. For 30 years, Ed McMahon was a fixture in American households as Johnny Carson's Tonight Show sidekick. In that role, he played announcer and Carson's setup guy.
I hold in my hand the last envelope.
He was a loyal source of laughs and always knew his place.
You had to know how to do that, how to be the second banana, to be in when you needed to be, out when you weren't needed.
McMahon got his start in radio and in the early 50s hosted a number of TV shows in Philadelphia. His long association with Carson began in the late 50s, culminating with their final Tonight Show together in 1992.
I want to thank the gentleman who shared this stage with me for 30 years, Mr. Ed McMahon.
Even before Carson retired, McMahon had branched out on his own with ventures such as Star Search. He also co-hosted TV's Bloopers and Practical Jokes with Dick Clark.
You got a lot of things planned tonight.
While always genial on air, McMahon's personal life was not as charmed. He went through 2 divorces, and in 2002 he sued after toxic mold was found in his house. In 2007, he broke his neck in a fall, leading to more lawsuits. With all the money he had earned over a lucrative career, it came as stunning news in 2008 that a lender had started foreclosure proceedings on his house.
If you spend more money than you make, you know what happens. And it can happen, you know, a couple of divorces flown in, a few things like that. And, you know, things happen.
Notoriety from his mortgage problems did lead to some commercial opportunities, including a 2009 Super Bowl ad.
Now's the time to send your unwanted gold for cash.
But he will forever be remembered for his work in late night, which earned him a place in television history alongside Johnny Carson.
Who did you take to the high school prom?
Madeline Mason.
Madeline? You remember?
Got to her before you did.
All of a sudden, you did 30 years. And you kind of look back and you see this monument he created, and I helped put in some of those stones with him. It's wonderful.
A great, great performer and a great man. By the way, McMahon is survived by his third wife along with 3 sons and 3 daughters. Funeral arrangements have not yet been made. Let's change gears. How about my favorite new show, Surrogate in the City? Big congrats to Sarah Jessica Parker and her new hubby, Matthew Broderick. Their surrogate mom gave birth to twin daughters today in Ohio. Security's been tight there. You'll recall only a few days back, police officials got busted for trying to break into the surrogate's home. So, a happy ending there for Sarah Jessica Parker. No word on the twins' names, but I'm guessing Samantha and Miranda. It's only logical.
Could be.
Talk about a hassle for Hasselbeck. Elizabeth is being sued. The co-host of The View is accused of stealing a book idea. Here's the deal. A federal lawsuit says Elizabeth's new book ain't so new, with another author claiming she's already been there, done that. Here's the best part. The book is a real page-turner. It's called, quote, The G-Free Diet, a gluten-free survival guide. I smell book club. All right, time to check in right now with my good buddy out there in Hollywood. We're talking Mike Walters with TMZ. Last night, I understand that John and Kate was the most watched episode ever in the entire history of that channel. Am I right?
Yeah, more people watched it than the Tony Awards. That's how
That is
big this
unreal,
actually
man.
was. Yeah, it's unreal. This show, actually, I watched it, I got to tell you, and it was riveting television. I mean, I was like usually not the guy that sits on the end of the bed and does like this and waits, but I tell you, I was that guy all night last night.
And it was no surprise, of course, the announcement, we all saw it coming.
Right. You know, no surprise, they announced the separation, but I can tell you for sure, they actually have started legal documents for actual divorce. Montgomery County is near where they live, outside where they live, and Kate filed documents yesterday starting the legal process. So they are, you know, at least at this point, starting to get divorced. And one of the things that's interesting that they checked was Kate checked a box that said they've been living separately for 2 years. Now, it doesn't mean they've been living separately completely, but what she's trying to do is set the precedent that they will be apart for 2 years so that once that's done, you can officially get divorced. So, taking it seriously in this case. But, if you watched last night, you could tell these two were really upset at each other. And I think whether or not it's reality television, a lot of it's fake, it seemed real, at least to me.
And quickly, what does this mean for the future of the show? I've heard they're going to stop production.
Oh, well, I was saying it yesterday. It's so funny because, something to frown at. But the TLC camera guys and the producers are like, keep arguing because the ratings are skyrocketing. They're going to keep doing the show whether they're apart or not. I mean, it's so funny. You watch the show and they're like plugging their other shows like The Cake Guy and, OC Chopper, whatever. They're putting all this other stuff on there because they know
What, you don't like The Cake Guy? You don't like The Cake Guy?
I'm just saying, you don't have to put like all 3 shows in the same show. I mean, let it be its own show.
All right, let's talk really. We're doing Man Week here on the show, and we're saying, men, how well do you know your wives? Nick Cannon could probably take a lesson or two, yeah?
First of all, here's what happened. Our camera guy in New York apparently is some weird Mariah Carey fan, and so he finds Nick Cannon and he challenges Nick Cannon to name all 18 #1 singles from Mariah Carey, which, first of all, who can do that? My camera guy can, obviously, but Nick Cannon just looks at him like, oh, no. And first of all, when Mariah sees this or she sees our show, she's going to be really upset because Nick can't do it, and he just kind of mumbles and walks away like, oh, I don't know, but I'm going to do my research. Blah,
Wait
blah,
a minute.
blah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. He couldn't name even one?
My camera guy goes, okay, come on, let's go. And then Nick Cannon goes, well, you could probably do it. And my camera guy goes, yeah, you're right, I can do it. So what about you? You're married to her, right? And he was just like, and he just puts his head down.
I gotta go.
Yeah, sorry. Mariah's up there like, here we go. Are you serious? Get in here, Nick, right now.
Hey, Mike, great to see you, my friend, as always, out there in Hollywood. We'll log into TMZ.com and check out all the Hollywood dish throughout the day. By the way, MySpace has some space for rent, the social networking site cutting 2/3 of its workforce, and it plans on closing at least 4 offices around the globe. You know why? Natalie does, because she's on Facebook right now. Facebook has now doubled the size of MySpace, causing all kinds of problems. Yep. There you have it. Okay, kids, do it with me at home. If I could turn back time.
Yeah.
No? It's Cher. I love my Cher. Tom. The legendary diva is now set to star in her first movie in over 10 years. The movie is called Burlesque. It follows the story of a small-town Iowa girl with a big voice and bigger dreams. It's set for release next year. Come on, everybody, all together, Natalie. If I could turn back time. Good luck to Cher. It's good to see her back on the big screen for sure. Move over, Ken and Barbie. It's now Edward and Bella.
No.
Yes, the stars of Twilight now have their own dolls, complete with, quote, shimmering complexion and trademark gold eyes. You can buy them both at Toys R Us. Coffin and wooden stake sold separately. Hey, Denver Idol, get this. You know American Idol's coming to town.
Yep.
Well, we're doing our own contest, Denver Idol. This is awesome. Monday, July the 6th. You can register. We'll have our own auditions at the Ellie Calkins Opera House. And here's the deal. We're going to pick certain winners of our Denver Idol. Yeah. Then you get to jump to the front of the line for American Idol.
Yep.
That means you're guaranteed an audition.
Deal. You can't pay for that.
It's priceless,
Absolutely.
really. Those auditions of American Idol will take place July 14th at Invesco Field. Registration is July 12th and July 13th. But again, do Denver Idol, you could go to the front of the line.
The first stop.
You know it. Hey, tonight, if the weather holds, I'll be up there at Film on the Rocks. It's a great, great series of films. There's always live music beforehand. Ben Lee is playing tonight. And the movie starts at dusk. The bands start right around 6 p.m. So I hope to see you up there. It is a lot of fun, especially. Now, tonight's film is South Park. So you may not want to bring the little kids.
Maybe not a good idea.
No. But the teenagers would love it. And it's going to be a great night there.
It's such a great setting. I do hope the weather holds for you tonight.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay. Up next, do you wonder if your husband could be a better dad or maybe